Once upon a time, in a quiet town surrounded by tall trees and narrow cobblestone streets, there lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel was honest, hardworking, and always treated people with respect. But there was one thing that kept troubling him deeply. He could never understand what people truly felt. His manager would praise him with a smile, yet deny his promotion the very next day. His closest friends would make plans, then disappear without explanation, and his neighbor would greet him warmly while spreading rumors behind his back. Daniel often sat alone at night, thinking, why do people say one thing but mean another? Have you ever felt this way? Like you're surrounded by people, yet you can't really see them. One evening, as rain tapped softly against his window, Daniel sat quietly, lost in thought. Suddenly, there was a knock at his door. When he opened it, he found an elderly man standing there. He had calm eyes, a gentle smile, and carried himself with quiet confidence. "Good evening," the old man said softly. "My name is Victor. I study human behavior, and I believe you've been searching for answers." Daniel froze. "How do you know that?" Victor smiled. "Because your eyes ask questions, even when your lips stay silent." Intrigued, Daniel invited him in. As they sat together, the old man leaned forward and said, "Tell me, when someone speaks to you kindly, do you believe them instantly?" Daniel nodded. "Of course, why wouldn't I?" Victor shook his head slowly. "That is where most people go wrong," he continued. "The truth is, words are the easiest thing to fake, but the body never lies." Daniel listened carefully. "Tomorrow," Victor said, "go outside. Watch people closely. Don't focus on what they say. Watch how they move, how they react, how they pause." The next day, Daniel followed his advice. He sat at a small cafe, observing quietly. The first person he noticed was a businessman speaking loudly on the phone. He sounded confident, powerful, in control. But Daniel noticed something strange. The man kept pacing. His shoulders were tense, and his fingers trembled slightly. Even though his voice was strong, his body whispered fear. Daniel realized, confidence isn't always real. Sometimes it's a cover for anxiety. Then he saw a young couple sitting together. The man spoke with excitement, telling stories, laughing loudly. The woman smiled, nodded, and said all the right things, but her eyes kept drifting away. Her posture leaned back, creating distance. Her words said, "I'm happy," but her body said, "I'm not here anymore." Daniel felt something shift inside him. Later, he noticed a man sitting alone, quiet, calm, not trying to impress anyone. People approached him, spoke to him, trusted him. There was something different about him. He wasn't loud. He wasn't trying to prove anything. And that's when Daniel understood something powerful. The strongest people don't need to show strength. That evening, Daniel returned home. Victor was waiting. "I see it in your face," the old man said. "You've started to notice the truth." Daniel nodded slowly. "It's like people are speaking without words." Victor smiled. "Exactly. Now listen carefully. These truths will change how you see everyone." He raised one finger. "First, when someone tries too hard to impress, they are often trying to hide insecurity. Second, when someone avoids eye contact or changes topics quickly, there's something they don't want you to discover. Third, when someone is overly nice all the time, be careful. Real emotions are balanced, not perfect." Daniel absorbed every word. "But remember," Victor added softly, "this knowledge is not for judging people. It is for understanding them." Days passed. Daniel practiced silently. He began to notice patterns everywhere, small signals, hidden emotions, unspoken truths. But then something unexpected happened. One night, he looked at his own reflection, and for the first time, he didn't look away. He asked himself, "What am I hiding?" He realized. He smiled when he felt broken. He agreed when he wanted to disagree. He stayed silent when he wanted to speak. He wasn't just reading others, he was finally reading himself. And that's when everything changed, because the deepest truth is this: the better you understand others, the more clearly you see your own masks. The next morning, Victor was gone. No goodbye, no trace, just a small note on the table. It read, "People are not puzzles to solve. They are stories to understand. See them with awareness, but treat them with kindness." Daniel smiled, a genuine smile this time. From that day forward, he no longer felt confused by people. He didn't try to control them or judge them. He simply observed, understood, and responded with wisdom. And something beautiful happened. People began to trust him, to open up, to be real around him. Because when you truly see people, they finally feel seen. So now, let me ask you, when you look at the people around you, what are you really seeing? Their words or their truth? And more importantly, when you look at yourself, what are you hiding? Think about that, because the person hardest to read is often the one in the mirror.